Niner Empire, what's up? Duncan here. Let's talk Daily GM. First and foremost though, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment in the box below, and hit that bell for notifications. So with that being said, let's talk about some free agency. Let's talk about some NFL and some draft. So first, free agency's going wild. Teams are signing guys left and right, but there's still some valuable talent that can help our team left. Alright, the first of which is tight end Martellus Bennett. This is a guy that's played in the New England system. He's actually played with Jimmy Garoppolo before. He's also played with Aaron Rodgers. And he's a guy that can get separation, he can get open. In the right system, he can be an amazing target, specifically in the red zone. You give him a quarterback like Jimmy G, and you let him run wild in that secondary, allowing him to catch passes, allowing him to make people miss, he would be an amazing pickup for us. He's 6'6", he's 250 pounds, which makes him an ideal target in Kyle Shanahan's system. And we still have Selleck and we still have Kittles, which are both pretty good tight ends as well. So that signing Martellus Bennett would be a huge benefit to our offense. Huge. Next, I'm going to the defensive line. I'm signing Ndamukong Suh. Now I know he's going to cost a ton of money, but we have it. And could you imagine Suh, Buckner, Solomon Thomas, Mitchell, and Eric Armstead with the rest of them? That would be a dynamic defensive line. I mean, the idea of Suh, 6'4", 6'5", 304 pounds, mixed with DeForest Buckner, those two together alone could dominate offenses. Then you throw in Solomon Thomas, who's going to grow into a stud, who's going to be mentored by a guy like Suh. And suddenly that defensive line looks just like beast mode. Next, I want to fortify my O-line. Because every great championship team is built on the O-line. So I'm bringing in two people. One, center, Mike Pouncy. Okay, Pouncy is 6'3", 305 pounds. He's a solid pass blocker, as he's blocked for, he's blocked for, what's his name in Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger. He's been part of pretty good offenses, but he's also a really good run blocker. Okay, this is why guys like Le'Veon Bell has had an amazing season with him at center. It's why guys, even in Miami, Adai, I think his name was, or whatever, the running back in Miami had an amazing season. And it was largely because of the holes that Mike Pouncy was creating. And again, he's going to cost us a little bit, but he'd be worth it. Then I'm bringing in Luke Joeckel. Okay, Joeckel is 6'6", 306 pounds. He's a solid run blocker, and he's a decent pass blocker. He also was playing in Seattle last season, so getting him away from the Seahawks only helps us even more. Joeckel's had some injury issues, but when he's on the field, he is solid. Okay, he was a first-round pick. He had a lot of upside, and I honestly would love to see our offensive line look like left tackle Staley, Left guard, I have Richburg. Center, I have Pouncy. Right guard, I would have Jokel. And then at right tackle, I'd have either Gillian or Trent Brown, depending upon who won that spot in the offseason. Now, the last free agent I'm picking up is inside linebacker Kevin Minter. Now, he's 6 foot, 241 pounds. He can be very disruptive. He's solid against the run. He's a veteran. He knows how to step back, play in coverage, read defenses. He's a guy who can step in, really play maybe two different linebackers for us. He's probably going to play the Mike. He could probably play Mike or Will backs. And instantly, with Reuben Foster's legalities up for debate, depending upon how many games he plays, and depending upon who we draft with the first round, which I will be getting to in a second, you're talking about Kevin Minter with Reuben Foster and company. That's a decent beginning of a linebacking core. And Reuben Foster would have a veteran to learn from. So with that being said, let's talk draft. Okay, my first round is easy. I have linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, Virginia Tech, 6'5", 250 pounds. He's very athletic. He's very aggressive. He shuts offenses down. He attacks the ball. He attacks ball carriers, whether they're running backs or quarterbacks. He gets pressure. Every down, he's in that backfield, and he's disrupting plays. Him with Foster and Minter almost sounds too good to be true. Now, round 2, I picked up cornerback Jahari Alexander from Louisville, 5'11", 195 pounds. This guy's a straight-up ball hawk. Okay, he can pick off passes left and right. He's a covered guy, one of the best coverage guys that's probably underrated cornerbacks in the draft. He's everywhere. He flies. He's great man-to-man coverage, great ball hawking skills, the ability to turn his hips, the ability to catch the pass and to make plays with it. He has a mouth like Richard Sherman's, so he gets in the head of his opponents while he's beating them on the field, a lot like Richard Sherman. To me, having him mentored by Richard Sherman would be ideal and an ideal pick for us. And then suddenly our secondary with Sherman, with Witherspoon, K1, and Jahari Alexander, with Jimmy Ward and so on, Tart and others, that secondary is beginning to look scary. Now, for my round 3 pick, I got running back Royce Freeman from Oregon. And I've been saying it a long time. He's 5'11". He's 238 pounds. He's a bruiser. He can run around guys. He can run through them. He can catch passes out of the backfield. He can make people miss. And he's a guy that is accustomed to playing in a multi-back system. He's accustomed to being the number 1 or the number 2 guy. He can come in for McKinney, and he can get valuable statistics, valuable numbers, coming right off the bench, playing limited snaps, and he can actually help create that ideal Kyle Shanahan running back core that they had in Atlanta with speed and power. And that's essentially what I've created right there. I think Royce Freeman would be an ideal fit for this offense, and I think he can easily become the number 2 back in this system. So next, I'm going wide receiver, Donte Pettis, Washington. And he's 6'1", 195 pounds. He's one of the best route runners in college. He's got good hands. Not the greatest, but he can separate, he runs routes, and he makes catches when needed. He's got decent speed. He's really underestimated because he's coming from Washington State, or he's coming from Washington Cougars, but he's a guy that can possibly make the team as a 5th or 6th receiver, or he adds depth to the practice squad, which, if you remembered last year, we burnt through wide receivers, so it'd probably be a pretty good idea to get a couple extra wide receivers backed up in that practice squad just to help us out. And then in round 4, I'm going back to the O-line. I'm drafting offensive guard Braden Smith from Auburn. He's 6'6", 306 pounds. He has great size. He has solid skill set. He's a good run blocker. He's a good pass blocker. He's very balanced. He's not outstanding at one or the other, but he's not horrible at one or the other either. He's that fine line between a solid, formidable offensive guard and a star backup. Right now, he can come in and he can be on this. He can make our team, and right now he's going to be a solid backup for us. And I believe having a guy like him in the background with Joshua Garnett and Zuda and Beatles and so on will be intense and would be amazing for our offensive line. That O-line will be stacked. Jimmy G will have all day. Our running backs will have holes that you can pull trucks through. We have receivers that can get open and make catches. We have a star tight end in Martellus Bennett. That offense is set. That offense will score a lot of points. Next, in round 6, I'm going defensive end Javon Roland Jones from Arkansas. He's 6'2", 244. He's athletic. He can make some plays. He's kind of undersized for the defensive end spot, which means he might roll out to linebacker like Elvis Dumerville. He's going to have a hard time making the team there because we do have a lot more options in that position this year than we did last. But here's a guy that can play 2 different positions. If anything, you put him on the practice squad, and because of his versatility, because of his ability to play defensive end and outside linebacker. We're going to need guys like that. Specifically, if we get hit with injuries, we need guys that can play multiple positions. And then my first round 7 pick is wide receiver Bradley Pringle from Kansas State. Okay, he's 6'2", 185 pounds. He's quick. Very quick, very good hands. He's not the best route runner. But if you need a guy that can make someone miss, get down the field, and make big catches, he's your guy. He's going to be extremely underrated. He's coming from Kansas State. You know that offense is a high octane. They want to throw that ball. They chuck it around a lot. So having a guy like Bradley Pringle, that again is probably going to be the practice squad guy, but he's that speed in the practice squad that can mimic your Marquise Goodwin. He's that guy, which is very valuable to us. And then on my final pick, I picked up linebacker Myles Pierce from the Citadel. Okay, he's 6 foot, he's 225. He's going to be one of those hybrid linebackers / safeties. You know, like the Eric Reed. I'm not sure if he can make the team, but I picked him there because of Eric Reed's situation. We don't know if we'll bring Reed back, but having a guy that can play linebacker with the size of safety and the speed allows San Francisco to go different routes with them. So, with that being said, that's my Niners team. That's my GM for today. I believe this model has our offense looking amazing and has our defense very capable of winning. I'd love to know what you guys think about today's GM. So please comment in the box below. Hit that bell for notifications. Like the page if you haven't. Like the channel. Subscribe. And share. Thanks for watching, guys. Go Niners. Peace. Duncan out.